Hi guys, and this is a preview of my entry into this year's Golden Demon competition, and it's going to be in the Warhammer 40k single miniature category, and it'll mark the first time that I've actually entered the competition, so I'm really looking forward to it. But apart from the good things, which is looking forward to entering the competition, I've had a few nightmares with this miniature, and I have to add, it's nothing to do with the miniature itself. The miniature is absolutely exquisite. It's myself. I mean, I've done all sorts of things that I wasn't happy with this miniature, but I'm just going to talk to you about the base first of all. I'll put a link down below to where I actually purchased this from. It's from modeldisplays.co.uk, but if I remember, I'll put a link down below. And looking for a company that sells display bases in the UK was not the easiest thing, to be honest, but I mean, the company that I bought this from, absolutely superb. All their bases are resin and do all sorts of shapes and sizes, but this one I think cost me just under about £5, but I mean, the shipping cost was definitely warranted. I mean, this thing weighs an absolute ton. In the painting process, I just sort of, apart from the fact that I've painted it all sort of weathered, I went in with a hobby drill, and you'll see all these bullet holes and scratches and scrapes was added, and that was obviously because it's resin. It enabled me to do that, which was really cool. I also put a magnet in the top, so when the miniature goes on there, he's nice and secure and he's not going to fall off. But the actual painting of this Nurgle Sorcerer, it was not as easy as I wanted it to be. But then again, I suppose it's not supposed to. You're supposed to challenge yourself. But in the modelling stage, right at the beginning, I modelled countless number of like little maggots out of green stuff that I glued into place, and I was quite happy at the time. But as any clever person should do, they should paint up the whole miniature and then decide they don't like the look. And that's pretty much what I did. So it was quite a headache, really, trying to deconstruct and demolish the work I'd done on the base around a painted miniature. Yeah, not the most wisest thing I've ever done, but I'm glad I did it in the end. I do think that the amount of maggots that I added to the base it was just too much. Going around the back, I have left some, I should say, some maggots on the open wounds, and hopefully my camera's picking it up there. I mean, I've not finished painting them yet. There's still a little bit of work to do on those, but yeah, that's those. And the paint job on the flesh, hopefully my camera's picking it up, where it actually changes colour and it goes through like a grey white colour. Through purples and orange and yellow, and a little bit of green veining through there. I mean, you might notice more so on a large fleshy area as I turn it around, the colour sort of changes. So sometimes I look at it, I'm really happy with the result of that, and other times I'm unsure, but I don't think I'm going to be repainting his flesh again. So that's the overall look that I went for there. And so that, I mean that's it. I mean, I've got a lot of work to do still on the weathering side of things, with the rusts in the shoulder pauldrons and little details like those ropes need finishing off there. The colours are not correct. So bits and bobs on the actual miniature itself, but the major headache for this whole build so far has been on the backpack. Now, if there's any time in my life that I wanted to actually self-harm myself, it was probably working on this banner pole. I'm sure at some stage I wanted to take the needle out my airbrush and just poke it in my eye. But yeah, I painted the banner 2-3 times, green stuffed a symbol on there, painted that, and it just looked terrible. So I need to come up with like a solution, and my good buddy Red Steel Alton's Tris come up with a really cool, he gave me a really cool icon, and it's absolutely perfect, and I do want to use it, but unfortunately it's a little bit damaged. I mean, because this is obviously going to be used for a competition, it needs to be, you know, pretty much perfect. So what I would like to ask, if there's anyone out there that has one of these in the bits box that they don't need, if they're willing to send it to me, I'll be, you know, eternally grateful, and I'm sure I can cover the cost of it by sending a small token through PayPal to show my appreciation. So if anyone's got one of these, I'd really appreciate it. Going back to the miniature itself, I mean, I've added some sort of like blood effects, and you'll notice that it's got like a wet effect to it that I use with mixing some inks with a tiny bit of gloss varnish, and I think that's worked out well. I mean, another thing that I took way too long over on this miniature was the actual capes. Now, unfortunately, as always, the colour of the cape is being sort of blown out by the camera. If I hold it down there, you can see the different colours, but if I put it back up there, there you go, all one colour. So let's try and see if I can get my camera to see the different colours. I used 5 different shades of red, but originally I didn't actually want to paint the cloak red. I wanted it to be like an earthy tone, which I did. I actually painted it, to be honest. I painted it like a browny earthy colour, but unfortunately, although I think it looked way more authentic, it looked like it fitted in with the overall look of the miniature didn't pop. Now, because obviously it's going to be in a glass cabinet amongst many beautiful painted miniatures, I needed it to pop somewhat, so that's why I had to paint the red cloth in there, and it's achieving what it needs to achieve. So a little bit more work to do on it. Hopefully I'll wrap it up, you know, this year before the games day. We'll see. But let me know what you think. I really want to hear your comments on this, guys. I mean, this is my first entry, and yeah, there's been high points and many low points, and I'm hoping my next one, which you would have seen in the unboxing to Crow, will go a bit more smoothly, but we'll see. So yeah, as soon as I've got this finished up, which I'm not sure when that'll be, I'll post the finished product, and I'll take some nice HD photos as well. So thank you for watching, guys. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.